Hey guys, welcome to the Field of 68 YouTube channel. If you like what you see here, hit that subscribe button and you'll get more college basketball content just like this.
Marquette beating Kansas. Coach McCall, what's that say to you about the Golden Eagles, and what do you make of this result?
Well, I think it's the reason that a lot of us have picked Marquette to win the Big East, and UConn is right there. There's other really good teams in the Big East, but this is what we expected from them. For Kansas, I mean, they turned the ball over 18 times as of right now, and there's 2.5 minutes to go in the game. So I think they've got to figure that out. But Marquette essentially returns everybody. They have a really good team. Their offense is explosive. Defensively is where they need to get better, like we talked about earlier today. But a lot of us picked them to win the Big East, and so this is not a surprise. Um, you know, Tomorrow night versus Purdue, that's going to be a lot of fun to watch. You got floor spacing with Marquette. How do they play? Zach Edey, everything, pulling him out, trying to make him guard pick and rolls. How does he handle that? But that's, we'll see who the best team in the country is. But, I don't think this is a shock. I don't think it's a surprise. I think it's a shock and a surprise that Kansas turned it over as much as they did tonight. But we'll find out who's the best team in the country for sure tomorrow night.
Shock at halftime used the word connectivity. And if you know Shaka at all behind the scenes and what's important to him, and I know it's a buzzword with every coach, but he preaches, teaches, and coaches culture in his program every single day. And I think he learned a whole lot at Texas. And he's come into Marquette, didn't bring in 7 or 8 transfers. And they were a connected team all year, a year ago, on their shoulder. They know good now, and they're still playing very, very connected. And I know that Zach Edey isn't Hunter Dickinson, but this was good preparation because they're going to play the best big guy in the country tomorrow after playing one of the best today. It would be interesting to see because, Purdue is better defensively than Kansas. And I think in some ways harder to guard because Zach, I think, is obviously he's just bigger. He's just different. You don't see that, but maybe once in your career, or twice in your career, unless you're in the Big Ten. So it's going to be a great championship game. Obviously, you mentioned Marquette playing Purdue a year ago, so they're not going to be in awe. They're not going to be like, hey, what is this going to present? How's this going to look? Those guys were on the floor a year ago. And so they're going to come in with a lot of confidence based on these last 2 wins. It'll be very interesting tomorrow in that championship game.
73-59, the final. The number 1 team in the country goes down. Marquette beats Kansas, and it is just the 3rd time in Marquette program history that they have beaten a number 1 team in America. And get this, it is only the 2nd time that Marquette has beaten a number 1 team in America in non-conference. The other time was March 29th, 2003. Marquette beat Kentucky to advance to the Final Four behind Dwayne Wade, who had a triple-double. Dwayne Wade was sitting courtside tonight as Marquette beat number 1 Kansas. How about that? It is the 3rd win in program history versus an AP number 1 team, and the first since 2017 when Caden Reinhardt and Marquette beat Villanova on a wild night in Milwaukee. The Golden Eagles get it done. It is their first win over Kansas since 1974. Wow.
And Fanta, how about this? Smart continues to wear Rob Doster's outfit with the dry fit underneath the polo. I think Rob Doster started that outfit. Am I wrong?
Yes.
The polo with the long sleeve dry fit underneath. That's a Doster special.
Yes, it is a Doster special. He started that. He absolutely started that. So listen to this one. Marquette will play number 2 Purdue tomorrow, becoming the first team to play AP number 1 and number 2 on back-to-back days.
Wow.
Since 1972. Bill Walton was playing for UCLA. So think about that. That's how good the Maui is. Marquette, to win this thing, will have to beat number 1 and number 2. Who do you like tomorrow night? Call your shot, Chris Mack, Marquette or Purdue?
I'm going to go with Marquette.
Wow.
I'm going to go with Marquette. I just that's a tough ask. I know he didn't play 40 minutes tonight, but that's a tough ask for a big guy to go 3 nights in a row like that. And I think Marquette's playing with a ton of energy. We mentioned that one of Purdue's shortcomings a year ago was their ability to guard on the perimeter. And they're going to face some really good perimeter players tomorrow night. It'll be very interesting to see how Purdue defends in ball screen situations. They're going to see a lot more of them. Tennessee is not a team that runs very many ball screens. Ziegler will get some, but for the most part, they're very pinned down heavy, and those guys are curling in the lane and making plays at the rim and kicking it out that way. They're gonna face a lot of ball screen action tomorrow night, especially in transition with Tyler Kolek. So I won't be surprised either way. Both teams are good enough to beat one another, but 3 games in 3 days, I'm going to go with Marquette.
McCall.
I want to pick Purdue because I think they're the best team in the country. I agree with Coach Mack in terms of, 3 games in 3 days. Zach Edey, how is he guarding pick and rolls? I think the floor spacing for Marquette is going to cause Purdue a lot of issues. I think turnovers continue to be an issue for Purdue. Marquette will pick up at times and create some of those turnovers. So I like Marquette tomorrow. If I was a betting man, the only time I bet is on the golf course, only because I can control every single swing I hit. But if I was a betting man, I would take Marquette because like Coach said, 3 games, 3 days. Zach Edey, how is he guarding pick and rolls? How are they doing that with him? Just the floor spacing for them and the turnovers for Purdue. That's something they got to get corrected.
I'm going with Marquette. I think Oso Ighodaro is going to be able to hang in with Zach Edey, and Marquette's quickness from a guard perspective with not just Tyler Kolek and Cam Jones, but the way Sean Jones has played. They're going to be able to guard Braden Smith. They're going to be able to guard Fletcher Lawyer. Marquette is deeper than Purdue. It will show in the Maui Invitational Championship game. Marquette beats Purdue. The Golden Eagles will beat number 1 and number 2 on back-to-back days. And based on research, it does not look like anybody has ever done that in the history of college basketball. Marquette will be ranked number 1 on Monday.
Thank you for watching the Field of 68. If you've enjoyed what you've seen here, hit that like button, share this link with your friends, or check out the description for some other places that you can consume Field 68 content.